Hello and welcome back to OJ Coaching. It's Valentine's Day or Valentine's season, depending on where you see this video. It's that season where many people take the liberty to express love to one another, especially romantic love. We have decided to say something to that on OJ Coaching today. So today, we're talking about balancing love, romantic love, and academics. I'm not saying it right. Balancing academics and romantic relationships, call it academic and love, however. So let's start with definitions. So when we say academics, what do we mean? We mean scholarly pursuits, especially of higher learning. So we're talking about studying from maybe college to university and so on. And then when we talk about romantic relationships, this refers to a connection between two people that entails exclusivity. So the relationship is exclusive to both of them. There is emotional and physical closeness. It entails expressions of love such as gifts, thoughtful gestures, physical attraction, and investment of time and emotions into each other. And this kind of relationship is often situated within marriage or on a journey to marriage. So, to do or not to do, considering that both academics and romantic relationships are life defining and they are both time and energy consuming. Should you do one without the other? Can you combine both? So, that is what we want to talk about today. The first thing we want to talk about is, should you do it or should you not do it? When you should not do it. The wisest man that ever lived, as we're told in the Bible, the wise King Solomon, in Songs of Solomon chapter 8 verse 4, says, do not awaken love until it is ready. Romantic love should be left untouched until you're ready to handle it. You're ready to handle the demands of time. You're ready to handle the mental involvement, the consequences of how far you go with it. So first, let's talk about when you're not ready. I think a person who is not 18 yet is not ready for a romantic relationship. That's even bringing it to the base level. Because a romantic relationship has the capacity to bring a person into becoming a parent. let's put it simply. Up until 18, a person is still developing, even physiologically. If a female gets pregnant before the age of 18, it stands the risk of giving her a very deformed baby because her body is still growing, the womb is still growing, the organs are still developing. So if a baby goes in that womb, as the womb is growing, the baby is growing, it can lead to all forms of deformity. So up until 18, I think ideally a person shouldn't even stay in the zone where your emotions can lead you on to all the rest that can accompany a romantic relationship. That is one. Secondly, a romantic relationship is financially demanding. You need to invest in the other person. If you are studying and you're barely getting by with your stipends, your scholarship, your whatever, the money you're making, do you really want to tag along with someone and have the extra weight of investing in them financially? So that's something to consider. And also, if you eventually decide to take your relationship a step further and tie the knots, get married, marriage involves a lot of responsibility. It will task you mentally because you have to think about the other person, look out for the other person. So while studying, are you able to handle the mental demand of taking responsibility for another person? Whether you are the male or the female, it impacts you. So that's what to consider before you get into a relationship where you are both committed to each other by covenant, the covenant of marriage. Now, let's say now you have decided I can handle it, I'm ready, still in school, but I can start the process of building a relationship that will lead on to marriage. How do you manage that? Because if you mismanage both, they are both energy demanding, both mentally consuming, they are both, they both pull a weight. How do you manage that? One of the first things to do is for you to set your priorities right. You need to plan how you are going to manage both. You need to be honest to confront how both would affect you, how both would pull a weight on your time, how you're going to manage your time so that your academic objectives are accomplished, while your plans for the relationship are also accomplished. So set your priorities right, have a plan. And another thing to do to manage your romantic relationships while studying is to communicate clearly with your fiancé or your spouse. Communicate with them very clearly. Sometimes your academics are really demanding, you can't give the time needed to that relationship. I remember before we got married and when I was in a relationship with my husband, we had a long distance relationship. He was studying and preparing for an exam at a particular time. I found that I couldn't reach him easily. Our communication dropped at that time, and I was really disturbed. Like, why is he not responding as he would normally respond? Why is he slow? Is there some other person there? I began to get worried. It was not a good feeling. It was much later that he had a chance to explain to me that, oh, things were really tough in school, exams were close, and I just had to shut everything down. It would help if something like that is going on and you communicate clearly with your partner. So you can handle both love and academics, but you need to know what you're doing. You need to plan carefully. You need to set your priorities right. You need to make sure that either of the two are giving what they demand without either disturbing each other. And to close up on this, I want to leave you with something that the Lord Jesus Christ said in Luke 14:28. He said, suppose one of you wants to build a tower, and actually academics they call it ivory tower at the university. Suppose one of you wants to build a tower. Won't you first sit down and estimate the cost to see if you have enough money to complete it? So before you decide to combine love and academics, you need to sit down, plan, and make sure that you have what it takes to handle both together. I wish you all the best in your journey of either to do or not to do when it comes to love and academics. Until the next episode, bye for now.